Guys, it's nice and cold out here. Got them trees all nice, good and wrapped up, shiny. Got 220 watt bulb burning in each one of them. Got to do the math. Don't want to put too much watts on there. Breakers will trip off. Nice and warm in there. Like I said, it's about 35 degrees out here. Got some good pressure on the pump. This is what you wrap right here. Too many people make mistakes. What they do, they'll wrap that whole tank and I'll come out there and laugh. They'll have water just running all over the place. You don't wrap your tank. You wrap your little pipe that comes up underneath your switch. That's where your relay is. It cuts that thing on, regulates that pressure. You got that little bitty pipe up under that switch. That's what you wrap. About like a hair line. There's just a little bit of water. It's just enough sensor to turn that switch on and off. That's what you wrap. That's what's going to freeze up. You don't wrap the whole tank. I've seen people have a tank 6 foot high. They'll have that whole tank wrapped up with a mattress. Then they got water running all over the place and they wonder why everything froze up. The tank didn't freeze up. The switch, right there, that little pipe run up underneath that switch box. You turn it, you turn it onto that little pipe where it's nice and snug. That's what freezes up, not your tank. As long as that switch don't freeze up, you're good to go. Another thing here, right there, that exposed pipe right there, you see what I got right there? I took me a piece of that little old plastic stripping stuff. This stuff right here, I can get it Lowe's. You take that, you take this stuff right here, you cut you a little bit off, you wrap your pipe up right there with this stuff right here. You go up under it right there with that. From here to there, you wrap it there, and you cut you a piece off, wrap it there. Then you take your little electrical tape and just wrap it around about 2 or 3 times, you're good to go. This side ain't wrapped. I had it wrapped earlier last year, but I'll be all right. But this needs to be wrapped too. But the main thing is that switch right there, that little pipe that comes down right there, from here to here, that little sensor pipe. You keep that thawed out, and you keep your water cracked inside your house. You keep your faucet open. You're good to go. You won't never freeze up. But and that should do it right there. You won't have no problems. You'll have running water. All right. Like I say, I got these things good and wrapped. I got a 250 watt incandescent heat lamp on that. That's a 250 watt on that one. 250 watt on this one. I got a 250 watt on that one. And I got 150 watt on that one, which is going to be fine. I got them layered out good. I got 2 layers here. And I got an inner layer on the inside. It goes up to about here. And that's all open there. And nice citrus trees. I got navels, like I say, I got navels under there. And this is a little follow-up video on this here portion here. And I got some frost resistant stuff right there. 3 layers of that. And we got some rain in here too, so I'll go ahead and put the plastic over this. And I got them all tight here where the wind don't blow them off. They work great. And I got some PVC pipe, and I also put some piping over the top here as well, so it won't bulge in when it rains. Then all I got to do is come out here and just kind of just shake it out. We're good to go. Get all the rain off before it freezes, because that's what it does here. It'll rain, it'll get cold, get down in the 20s, and prior to that, it'll rain. Then I have to come out here and get all this rain off here. If I don't, it'll freeze up. then it'd be nothing but a problem. But right now, it's nice and cold out here, about 35 degrees. This thing here's took a little beating, but it ain't worried about that. It's just no volunteer thing. That there, a little stressed out. Since it's adapted to the weather through the years, that'll be fine. That's a tangerine. It's pretty well good to go. It's a little stressed out right now. Leaves a little yellow. When the leaves are a little yellow, it's kind of stressed out. Sometimes your leaves will be yellow. You get too much water on them, they'll turn yellow. You don't put enough water on them, they'll turn yellow. It also stressed out. They'll kind of curl and they'll be yellow looking when they're stressed out as well. But these are all good to go. They're all good and green inside. What I'll do later on in the week, I'll remove the top. It's gonna get up one day, it's gonna get up in the 70s next week. I'll remove the top and I'll take a picture of it, and it's gonna be all green. It's all good to go. So like I say, it's 35 degrees out there, but it's a good, oh man, it's about 60 degrees in there. But all good covered up. But like I say, I got all these on separate breakers. Don't want to put too many watts on one breaker because that'll trip it. Don't want to do it. I don't use anything inside that trailer. I run everything to a separate breaker out on my pole out there. That way I ain't got to worry about these things tripping off. Because you get too many watts on one breaker, it's going to trip. So I figure, well, I'd run 250 watts, run 2 on one breaker, and I'll run the other 2 on another breaker. That way I ain't got to worry about tripping. Everything I got in the house, air conditioners and stuff like that, I also have them run on separate breaker out that pole as well. I very seldom use anything. Basically, what's running in that trailer is just basically a couple of lamps, internal breakers inside the trailer. I just use that on, you know, I don't even try to keep the wattage down on that. Maybe I'll run a TV and a couple of lamps, stuff like that. And the in-house lighting on those breakers. And a washing machine and a couple freezers, and that's about it. And everything else runs on the pole out there. I put them breakers out on them poles out there. And that way I ain't got to worry about using too much electricity. Because it's going to be cold tonight. It's going to get down to probably around about 8. I say around about 20 tonight. It got down to about 16 or 17 last night. These did fare. If you can look in there, I don't know if you can see them. Good and green. That's what I want. No yellow. Everything good and green on them leaves on them trees in there. They're all good to go. And right now I'm freezing my butt off out here, and them trees right there, it's nice and warm in there. But that's about it. I figure I'd kill a little time out here. Everything checks out. Water's doing good. Nothing froze up. And shoot, I better get in the house. I'm freezing to death. They say it feels like it's 20 something now, but that's what they say. It feels like it's in the 20s, but it's about 35 right now. Temperature's fixing to drop, sun's coming down, it's gone down, so I'm gonna head on in the house. And ain't much I can do out here. I got a little hole right here. Take my finger, stick it in there. Man, it's nice and warm in there. I can hold that finger in there, man, that's warm down there. But that's it for now. That's it. Okay, it's the next morning. It's very frosty out here. But it's you can see right there, there's water on here. Everything else is ice and frosty. It's very frosty out here, but it's very warm in here. I can just feel how warm that is. But it's about 35 degrees out here right now. Might be a little long. Well, that's froze solid, so it's The hose is froze. You saw that ice on that hose. But it's nice and warm in here. Oh yeah, it's real warm inside here. Got a light on in there. It's nice and warm in there. So this is working good. That's even froze, see there? That's froze. And it's nice and warm in here. Got 225 watts of heat lamp in there, so it's nice and warm in there. But like I say, it's nice and frosty out here. Look at all that frost. I don't know, I think it's probably still below freezing. Sun's out, so it's supposed to get up to about 60 later on, about I say around 12, and I can go ahead and take this top off and air this thing out a little bit, cut the lights off. The lights been on for 2 days straight. Cut the lights off, give the electric bill a little break, and I'll pull this off. And of course it's gonna rain tonight, the old cycle. It's gonna rain and get up to 55, 60, rain, turn around again and get cold tomorrow night and be down in the 20s tomorrow night. So that's it for now. Like I say, it'll rain will come tonight and be up in the 50s. I'll take that off there and it'll turn right around the old cycles and go over again. It'll turn right around and get cold again tomorrow night in the 20s, and I'll wrap it back up and do it all over again tomorrow, and it's gonna be in the 20s Saturday and Sunday. You might get down to 18 Sunday. And like I say, the old cycle is here in southeast Alabama. It warms up, it rains, then it gets cold, gets down in the 20s, then it warms back up, rains again, turns right around, the whole cycle starts over again. But it's no big deal, everything's good, everything's pretty well crusty out here. That tree's doing okay. And when you look at that tree in there, if you can see in there, it's kind of hard to see. All green and good to go. And it's nice and warm in there. So it works. Okay, make a little update on this. It's now warmed up finally. Cold weather's gone for now. Supposed to get up to about 70 degrees the rest of the week, so it's time to remove these tops because I won't need them for a week. Couldn't get the lights off, so time to remove the tops, and that way I can let these things get some fresh air for the next week and a half. Supposed to be up in the 70s, so it's time to get this stuff off so I can let these trees breathe. Okay, I got them all removed. All of it looks okay. Everything green. Got down to 20 one day, and I think it got down to 17 one day. But everything looks good. Problem is, got all this stuff off here. Probably beginning of the next week, I'll repeat the whole cycle. I got to put the stuff right back on here again. Looks like the old German cockroaches. I don't call them. They're about like cockroaches. Stupid German beetle-looking bugs did a number on this tree because I guess they got it here when it was warm. That's what they do. You live in the state of Alabama, you seem like you're constantly fighting stuff. You got to fight them stupid things. Them old bugs. That's them stupid things right there. Them old stupid German pile of crap bugs. Seem like they love the state of Alabama. Go down to my aunt's 40 miles here down in Florida. She don't know what I'm talking about. She thinks they're ladybugs. Go to my sister down in Central Florida. They don't have them. Only here. Seems like they're bad enough trying to grow stuff around here. You gotta deal with these stupid things. Yeah, them old German beetles, that's what they are. They'll sit there and cause all kind of headaches. They love to eat anything. They love blueberries. So a bunch of people planted a bunch of blueberries around here several years, and it's like they abandoned them. spent all that money. Then they had a blueberry, and they had a, not a blueberry, but they had a, one of them stupid German beetle infections, plague in here, and they turned around and wiped them all out. And that's why I wonder why they don't plant. They don't replant, because the stupid German beetles, they love to eat the leaves up. They kind of did a little number on here. They love to get in the warm. Apparently some of them got in here, ate some of my leaves. See, they did a number on that tree right there. Some old German beetles, they love to eat them leaves. But overall, tree's doing okay. A little bit of yellow. I'm probably gonna throw me a little water on there and water them. I got them open now. But like I say, they're doing good. Looks like they're trying to bloom. They're actually not trying to bloom. They're trying to put a little growth on them. Yeah, they're a little. They looks like they're trying to sprout some leaves already, so they're doing pretty good. Like I say, about 3 days ago, it got down to 16 degrees. And as green as these things are, I think they're gonna survive. There'll probably be a couple more of these freezes. We'll probably get one in, fixing to be February. I say in a, well, a few days from now. Get through February, should be okay. But we've had several nights of below 20. And look at this thing over here. I ain't really care about this thing here, this old volunteer thing. It's all crumbled up. I ain't worried about this thing here. Just old volunteer thing. But other than that, these things look pretty good. Thing is, southeast Alabama, it's kind of hard to grow stuff. You got to deal with them stupid German beetles. And like I say, my sister down in Central Florida, she thinks they're the ladybugs, because they don't get them down there. Shoot, they don't even get them down in Chipley. My aunt down there in Chipley, she says she don't even know what I'm talking about. They don't get them there. It seems like when you cross over into Alabama, South Alabama, boom, they're everywhere. It's like that every year, and I thought these things supposed to be seasonal. Man, them things, they're out here eating this stuff year round. If them German beetles don't eat, these cows love to eat. Shoot, they want something to eat right now. They got all that hay up there, and they sitting there come down here starving to death, like they're starving to death. They want a bunch of stuff to eat right now. They think I'm gonna feed them right now. They need to go back up there and eat some of that hay. But that's it for now. Everything looks good. Got through these freezes. Got the top off. It's probably get up to, it's supposed to get up to 67 degrees tomorrow. We ain't seen 67 degrees here in probably 3 weeks. So everything looks good. About the end of next week, turn right around, wrap them, and do it all over again. But that's it. Bye. Okay, doing a little update here. It is now February, about the February the 10th. I just removed all of this covering here. It's like it's a job. Is you take them, you put them up, you take it down. You put it up, you take it down. That's the way it is in Alabama. 1 week it's in the 30s and the 20s, and it's up in the 60s. Well, we're in February finally. So far, so good. Trees are doing good. They even got blooms on them. A little bit prematurely. But you can see them little blooms coming up on here. Doing pretty good. Over here, same thing. Got some blooms. We'll probably get a couple more cold spells. Let's see. Okay, what do we got? See, looks pretty good. Over here, it's up in the 60s today. I finally pulled this mess off. It's been cold, been in the 30s for the last 3 or 4 days, in the 20s. But it's up in the 60s and 70s. It's probably gonna be nice and warm for the next 2 weeks. Long range forecast. Of course, that can change. I got all this pulled off. Hopefully I can keep it off. Got a little wind out here. Everything's doing good. These trees are doing pretty good. They're even blooming. Got some growth on them. Everything's doing good. You see how all the leaves are on the ground there. But like I say, they're stressed out, but these here do pretty good here because they've been adapted to the weather, so no problem here. That old banana tree there, still hanging in there. Well, guess what? It'll all come back. I say when it starts warming up and getting spring next month, all that'll bloom out and it'll all come back. Like I say, we're in about the 10th or 11th of February and everything looks good. Hopefully won't get that much more cold weather. And I can go ahead and pull all this mess down. But like I say, it's a working job. You cover it up and you uncover it. And you cover it up and you uncover it. But if you want to have some nice citrus fruit, just like that, and back in the days I covered these up. But they adapted now, so it's no problem. But like I say, if you want some fruit, you got to do some work. If you want some citrus trees, you got to do a lot of work with it. It's a lot of work. You can't just sit there and plant it in the ground and leave it. Now the next phase I'm going to do is when it warms up next month, I say about March, I'm going to lime these trees and get the sour out of them. Get some lime on them, put some lime and get me some of that cow manure out there. Mix in with it and put around all these trees. I'm going to put a pile of it around there. I'm going to pull all this down probably sometime next month and put some cow manure and some lime all these trees. But like I say, we're getting blooms on those now. What I'll probably do, it's going to still be a few more years before they bear. What I'll do, it'll put blooms on there, a little fruit, and I'll probably pull the fruit off a little bit. Won't stress the tree out, and then hopefully in a couple more years I'll be able to keep the fruit on the trees and they'll get big enough and they'll bear a lot of fruit. Navels are doing pretty good. Everything's doing pretty good. But I can't say much for this. Like I say, this is no volunteer. I ain't worried about that old thing there. Weather got it. But other than that, everything's good. So this is just a nice little old update. That's it for now. Talk to you later. Okay, it's a windy day. Back on this. Won't be long. It's going to get spring. I think spring is the 21st of March. Still got about a month to go. It's time to wrap these things back up. I got plenty of blooms. Got blooms on these orange trees. Same here. Got all them blooms on there. Little premature. That's what happens when you wrap them. It starts blooming a little ahead of time. But that's no big deal. I'm going to cover them back up. It's been in the 70s. Had to take all this off. Got plenty of rain. Everything's sprouting and growing in here. Everything looks good. Got about another month to go. I think the 21st of March is the first day of spring. It's about the 20th of February. Supposed to get some more cold weather in here. You always get more cold weather before Easter. And let's see. So I'm gonna wrap everything back up. It's been in the 70s. Temperature's dropping. Right now it's in probably around about 55 degrees. It's supposed to get down to 31, 30 tonight. We're gonna have frost in the morning, so I'm gonna cover all this back up in process of doing it now. Supposed to be down to 28 tomorrow, so we're gonna get up like 45 tomorrow. So I'm gonna have all, and it's gonna be cloudy all day, so I'm gonna cover all this stuff back up. Won't be long. We have got through all this. Like I say, everything's starting to sprout and come out now. That's looking good. That's had it. I ain't worried about this. It's no volunteer. Banana trees. One thing about it, sign of spring, which isn't not yet. See how dead them banana trees are? They'll come back. As soon as I start seeing growth come on them things, then I can take these off, because that means everything's coming back. Because when that banana tree comes back, you start seeing growth on that. that means it's spring and everything start coming back. So I got about another, maybe another 3 weeks of this, then I can go ahead and pull all this plastic down and we're good and we'll be in spring. So like I say, it's gonna be cold all next week, last of this week. So I'm in the process, I'm putting this cover back on there so the frost don't get it and don't get my bloom, because all this stuff's got blooms on it now. Yep, and so I'm gonna go ahead and continue on and get all this stuff wrapped up. And hopefully in a few weeks I can pull all this plastic down and I can start fertilizing these trees with some of that cow manure out there and start putting lime around all this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on and start getting this stuff wrapped up. Okay, I'm gonna start wrapping this stuff up. I got all these things bundled together. I got 3 on each one. Actually, I'm down to 2 because I don't think it's gonna get all that cold. It's gonna be in the 30s, but I got all these bundled individual. That way I got the correct cut on each one. So I'm gonna wrap this one and wrap them, and I got them put away. I'm gonna drag them out and wrap them. One thing I got to deal with when I do this is this wind. It blows it back. So what I'll do is I'll grab each side and hook it all the way around this wire here. Once I get it, then I'll pull it tight all the way around and overlap underneath here with all the way around, and I'll put me another one across around this way. Same thing like I got it over there. Then I go to the next one, do the same thing. Then I'm good to go for about a week. It's supposed to be cold all week. It's gonna be like in the highs in the 50s and the lows in the 30s, or maybe 28, 29 degrees for the next week. So it's just be good to go for about a week. Hopefully, like I say, in about 3 weeks, I can pull all this stuff down and I'll be done. I'll be getting ready for the spring, and I'll be ready to fertilize this stuff and get it ready for the spring. And like I say, everything's bloomed, all got blooms on them. So that's about it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these things up. On these, sometimes I'll have to pull it down. What I'll do is I'll run me a piece of tape around that to hold that down. It uses something to help reinforce it. And I did the same thing on these sides here. That right there. But usually most of the time, this wire will be fine. So you got it overlapped. So I'm gonna put some, like I said, I'm gonna tape some of this off here. I got that tape holding it, see how it does? Then I'm gonna run that final piece across this way, tuck it under and put a piece of tape and grab it here on that final piece and tuck the rest. Same thing over here. Then I'll be good to go. That and there's all set. And do them all the same way, so repeat the same process. Cover these up about a week, warm them back up, take them back down, put them back up maybe one more time before Easter, or maybe a little after, and take the whole thing down, and I'm done, and I'm ready to start fertilizing. So that's pretty much it. So everything's looking good. Everything looks good. Looks like I might bear some fruit on some of these trees. But like I say, most of them are gonna fall off, which is normal. They'll all fall off. They're small like that. Sometimes I'll just get them that big around. Once they get about that big around, puts a lot of strain on the tree. Sometimes I'll just pull them on off the tree. And I figure about a year and a half, they'll start bearing, and I'll start leaving the fruit on the tree. Then eventually in a couple of years, it'll be like that. So that's it for now. Talk to you later. All good for the next freeze. Okay, I'm back on this. Still haven't got that cold night yet. It's getting close though. But in the meantime, it's supposed to get up to 70 degrees today, but it's supposed to be down in the 30s this weekend. In 29, I believe it's supposed to be 29, 28 degrees Sunday morning. And this wind is in. It's gonna be up around 70 today. So what I did on this, all them blooms are coming out. They all look good. Nice and warm in here, but I don't want to get it too hot. So what I did, instead of having to take this thing on and off every few days, I just decided to just pull it out right here and just droop it back. Put it there just like that. That way I ain't got to put this thing on there and put it off. Just have it where I got enough air to get up in there so it won't get too hot in there. But it's looking good. Got a lot of blooms on there. Same here with all these. Got it where I just got it folded back. That way I ain't got to keep taking the whole thing off every time. It all looks good. All getting blooms. Looks real good. Same thing with this one here. All them blooms. Look at that. Looks good. Got this one right here. All looks good. Got my lights still on. I got to go cut my lights off. I just got back in from work. Worked tonight. Shoot, it got down to 39 degrees. And how weird the weather is. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's already up around 61, 62, and it was down in the 30s tonight. So you talk about weird weather. Yeah, and take these things up and put them off and put them on, put them off and put them on. But hopefully got about another 2 more weeks of this mess. Then I can just take this stuff down. Then I can go and get these things fertilized. That's going to be about it. But that's it for now.